Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Aiden, from Cartoon Apocalypse, and welcome back to probably the final Felix promo. I don't know if we'll see any others, but this is most likely the last one because Gloob released one, and then now this is the official one from the official Miraculous Ladybug YouTube channel. So today they just released a new promo. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Link is down in the description below. But yeah, we're just going to be reviewing it and talking about what we see in this promo. So first we see Adrian out in this little garden with the statue of Emily, and he's probably just praying or doing something related to that. And Gabriel and Natalie are watching Adrian do this, and then Adrian noticed them and smiles back at them. And then next we cut to Marinette walking pretty angrily, I would say, over to the side. Now we don't know what she's walking at, we don't know what she's doing, but all of her friends are kind of in the background there. And then we see Adrian walking next to Gabriel, and then Natalie opening up the door, and then it cuts to Felix walking through the door. This isn't like this scene where Natalie is opening up the door. The person who's behind that door is what appears to be Emily, but it just cuts to Felix in this case. So then we see Felix walking through the door. So this kind of ruins all the suspicion for this episode. So I kind of wish we didn't see that, because then we could be like, oh, is there something cool going on with Emily or what? So there's two like big ideas that I think is going around. One is that people think that Adrian was just like, he mistakenly saw his mother for Felix. That's one option that's going around. And then the second option is that this person who looks like Emily is like Felix's mother, who just happens to look a lot like Emily. So those are like the two biggest things going around. Honestly, I think either one is viable. I don't think that one's greater than the other, but that's just the two places that it could go. So yeah. So then we see Adrian smiling at Felix like he's like, oh yay, it's Felix, good to see you. So then we cut back to Marinette and her friends, and now her friends seem to be cheering Marinette on, and then we cut to see Marinette in front of the video recording, and then she's like freaking out. I don't know what's going on here. Honestly, we didn't know anything about what Marinette was doing, so maybe this is like, I don't know, maybe like a video for student council or something. I don't really know. So next we see Max, and then it cuts to Kim being engulfed in the perfume from Lady Fragrance. So that's one thing that we see, and then we cut, like, this promo seems to cut a lot between Marinette's perspective and Adrian's perspective, so like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to follow, but whatever. So then next we see Natalie running up to protect Adrian from Lady Fragrance and Reflecta and Lady Wi-Fi as well. Now I'm just going to say, and I think a lot of people agree with me on this, I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't all combine into one. They just kind of like just reused models, which, I mean, I get why they do that, but like, I think it would have been cool to see them combine. You know how like Oblivio, Nino, and Alia combined into like one Oblivio? I wish that we would have seen that, but, or at least some sort of change. Like, this is the second time we've seen Reflecta this season, so I don't know. I think it would have been cooler to see different designs for these characters, but whatever. It's not really something that is too big of a deal. It's just like a little preference thing. So we see Reflecta pointing at what appears to be Adrian, and my guess is she's saying like, Adrian, you were so mean to us. Why did you do this? Because Felix probably went out and then caused trouble with them, which might have caused them to get akumatized, and that's what they were doing out on that boat. That's like what happened at the boat. I don't know. That's my guess. So they're here to get revenge on Adrian. Now, we don't know if the Adrian behind Natalie is the real Adrian or Felix. We can't tell by the ring, because in the one shot that we saw, his hands were like closed and we couldn't tell. But then we see Natalie probably saying something like go away or something. And then she starts fighting the villains. Like, this is when I would start to question Natalie, like, whoa, where'd you learn those moves? Because, I mean, like, that's pretty cool. She's, like, fending off these villains, and my guess is later on she will get, like, captured or stopped, but I don't know. Things start to get a little bit dicey as far as where we're following, because, again, this promo likes to jump a lot. So, next, we see probably Felix, but I don't know. And it looks like he's saying something with, like, a smug face, like, haha, try to catch me if you can. And my guess is he's saying this to the three villains, because then we cut to Felix. Now, he doesn't have the ring on, so that's why I'm saying it's Felix. And so Adrian, or I guess Felix, is kind of swerving around. And again, where did Felix learn moves like this? Like, he's matching a superhero's ability, and he's not a superhero, which is pretty crazy. So he just starts running and dashing towards them. And the reason why I say Natalie was most likely stopped is because we could see in the background, behind the 3 villains, there is another Reflecta. And the reason I don't think that this is Adrian is because we see Cat Noir later on. So that's why I think it's Natalie. Natalie probably told Adrian to escape, and Adrian was going to take that opportunity to go transform into Cat Noir. Anyway, we cut to the top of Chloe's hotel for some reason. Again, this episode seems like it cuts around a lot. But we just see some intense, like, drama kind of stuff, like, ooh, looking at a close-up of their eyes, and it's like, whoa, what's gonna happen next? And we can see Ladybug and Cat Noir again. That's why I said that person who was reflected? I don't know what the word for that is, but that's why I thought that was Natalie. And basically, Ladybug and Cat Noir are kind of surrounded at this point, and Ladybug seems to have, like, a spray bottle with, like, paint, like a paint bottle. Now, I don't know what she's gonna do with that, but obviously defeat the villains is what she's gonna do with it. And then lastly, we cut to Natalie opening up the door to reveal Emily. Now, this episode sets up a lot of, like, Emily drama, especially from the glue promo, as far as Gabriel's down there putting the rings on Emily, and then we see a bunch of other Emily related stuff, like Adrian sitting in front of her statue. So it puts a lot of build up to that reveal of opening up the door and there's Emily. So I don't know, just putting that out there, that there's a lot of, like, build up, and that's probably just like a once this episode, like, that's probably just what's gonna happen in this episode, that's it, just because they wanted to fool us or something for Felix, which would have worked a lot better if it was a finale. Because honestly, we know that since this isn't a finale, nothing's really gonna stay canon. I mean, some things do, especially in season 3, but really it's not really gonna stay. Like, if Emily revives back in, like, in the middle of season 4, for example, we're less likely to believe it because they don't do anything like that. It has to be the first episode of a season or the last episode of the season, and then it's like, oh, okay, then stuff could actually stay the same, but we don't really know. So yeah, that's it for this promo. If you enjoyed this video analysis, you can leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this. I'm really wondering what they're doing on Luca's boat, because, like, are they filming something for school? What's going on there? I don't know. And what did Felix do to get them so mad at him? I don't know. So we'll just have to see. I'm excited for Felix. So yeah, I'll talk to you in the next video. Goodbye.
Flap, flap, flutter, 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 flap.